Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. So recently I was on Instagram scrolling when I came across someone's page, and the lady there whose page it was speculating about her decision of whether or not to have children. So when you go down into the comments section, I saw a lot of comments, some people applauding her and lauding her for standing her ground and her choice and everything. And on the other hand, there were people who were judging her, criticizing her, shaming her for not having kids. It's like you're a woman, you're supposed to have kids, and if everybody starts thinking like that, how is the human species going to go further? So now, to be honest, I don't see any right or wrong here. I see it's a very gray area as far as I am concerned. And the reason being is while on one hand, I do understand that having children and becoming a parent is one of the most meaningful and a very rewarding experience. Having a child is one of the most important decisions to take in life. It can ground you, it helps you become much more mature. It's like it gives you a cohesiveness as a family unit. But on the other hand, if you're not prepared for it, if you are not able to embrace the challenges that come with it, for whatever personal reasons of yours, it can be extremely painful and difficult an experience, so much so that you might even start hating your kids, which happens pretty often. So I often wonder what is the right thing to do, and I think probably we should let it rest in the hands of the individual, because we don't know what are they dealing with and where are they coming from. So a lot of people who come through traumatic childhoods, who have had abusive families, who have had abusive parents or a lot of neglect, are not able to, let's say, provide the same emotional security, and let us say they're not able to meet a child's needs. And if they're aware about it and they decide not to have children, and I think it's a great decision, because once you know about your own inability, when you know you're not going to be able to meet the child's needs, and that is the reason you decide not to have children, I think it should be very well respected. Because they may regret the decision, maybe, we don't know, but at least they are not bringing a human being in this world and then subjecting them to neglect and abuse and perpetuating the cycle. On the other hand, some people who've been through trauma, who've been through abuse, have worked through it or are working through it. They recognize their trauma, they recognize their triggers, and are able to work through it to an extent that they can have children and provide them with everything that they did not get growing up. So that's another way to look at the situation. But either way, these two things can be, let us say, very be acceptable in the gambit of this question. But what about this? When people have kids under societal pressure, under pressure from family or spouse or colleagues or friends, whoever, then what happens? You bring forth children you were not prepared for, maybe you did not want in the first place, and then if you truly don't love them or you truly don't like them, sooner or later, either consciously or subconsciously, you're going to start exhibiting patterns and behaviors that are going to end up hurting the child. You can see, look all around you. There are people who have kids, maybe they provide them for financially, but they're absent from their child's life. There are people who actively physically abuse their kids. There are people who emotionally harass them. There are people who there is abject neglect. What does this mean? It means that often when people have children under pressure, or people have children to keep up appearances, or for whatever reason other than wanting children, other than being aware what a child brings along with it, they don't just bring love and the cuteness, they also bring tantrums, they also bring demands that are going to be made physically, emotionally, mentally, financially. So when people don't take that into account and just go ahead and have kids, and then they grudge them for wanting what they need. A child never asks to be born. It's the adults who bring a child into this world. And when a child comes, they seek what is their right. They deserve attention. They deserve love. They deserve to be cherished like the precious things that they are. But if parents who are not prepared to give, parents who do not understand the sacrifice that it takes, it is difficult. It puts a major drain on all other relationships, including the relationship with your partner. So when people are not prepared for it, people are not ready for it, it just doesn't go well for the child. Lot of people today walking around are carrying unresolved trauma, all because somewhere their parents failed them. So when you put that into perspective, isn't it better for someone to say, I cannot do this, let me not have children? In fact, shouldn't they be respected for recognizing that maybe they don't have what it takes to raise a child? At least they will not bring a child into this world and then leave it to the mercy of the winds. That's what I believe. And I hope this video made you think. And thank you so much for taking time and watching the video. And I'll see you soon.